Guys, are you able to see my screen? Online people? Online people, are you able to see my screen? Okay, thank you. So, that's 6, huh? Okay. So, in the last session, we discussed about the security, right? Security. So, app level security and data level security. In the app level security, we are using profiles and permission sets, and data level security, we are using OWD, sharing rules, role hierarchy, manual sharing, right? So these topics are very important in the interview point of view and also real time. Okay, now so the last concept of the admin, guys. Okay, yeah. For example, I will tell you the scenario, then we'll go to the concept. Okay, what is scenario? For example, you are working in any IT company or something, so you want to go to vacation. So first of all, you need to inform to your manager before, like 1 week before or 10 days before, or depending on your priority, right? So in that case, how to inform? You are not directly go to the whatever your manager, hey, I'm going to vacation. How to tell that? Through what about that mail? But in the IT companies or any company, we have some application. What is that? Approval. We need to get the approval. You need to just apply the leave. Okay, so that means in the Salesforce point of view, you need to create one record first. What is the record? When you are, for example, we need to implement that same leave request. Leave request is in one object, assuming that. Okay, so now we are implementing these approvals. Okay, how? For example, leave request is an object. Okay, leave request is an object. Now, if you want to create any whatever leave request, what data you require? What is the first data? For example, leave request data. For example, serial number. Serial number is a auto number. Okay. Then, sorry. First, no, employee ID automatically captured. Don't require. So first, what is the subject? Okay, that means leave type. Leave type. What is the leave type? Either sick leave or casual leaves or so maternity, something like that, right? So that is the leave request type. Leave type and subject, go to vacation or something. Next, some description. Okay, then any other, when it is started, when it is ended. Okay, start date, leave start date and end date. Okay, now first of all, I need to create this fields. Okay, so what is that? First, serial number, leave type, subject, description, started, and ended. This is enough, right? So whenever I'm creating this record, I need to send this information to your manager. How to send, how those guys are approved or rejected, that is the different story. The basic is not only request, guys. For example, we have an opportunity, any record already. Why? Because it's good example, so that's the reason I'm taking this. Otherwise, for example, opportunity, guys. This is the opportunity. Okay. In this opportunity, if you want to close the opportunity, or if you want to close this opportunity, here there is a stage, right? There is that stage, closed one. If you want to change the status, you required your whatever that hierarchical approval. That means your manager approval. So that's the reason, first of all, you need to submit this record to your manager. That guy give the approval, then only you need to close the record. So not only leave request, if you want to perform any action, in that action, you require your hierarchical approval, your manager or director or senior manager, anyone. In that case, you need to send the whatever request to your manager or your hierarchy, whatever it is, whatever whoever is there, right? So in that case, you need to get the approval from, once those guys are accepted, then only you need to change something. You don't have the permission directly change anything. For example, here anything, guys. For example, here products, you can add the products. Once you add the product, you need to inform to whatever, you need to get the products, right? For example, I'm adding the products. Adding the products is fine. For example, iPhone 13, understand the concept, guys. Here iPhone 13, how many products are, those people are asking 200 products, assuming that 200 iPhone 13, save. This is fine. See, this is the revenue. But after that, after 1 month or 1 week, those people, who's those people? Grand Hotels and Resorts. These are the whatever customer, right? Those people are calling to us, hey, we don't require 200, we require only 100. Then you don't have permission directly, whatever that, edit this and change this number to 200, 200. Then you need to tell your hierarchy. Who is that hierarchy? Your manager, or manager will be informed to senior manager will be informed to director. Those people give the approval, then only there is so many discussions are happen. Oh, this is the request coming from the sales team. What is happening? There is so many. Finally, your boss means your next manager. Okay, you are reporting to some manager, right? That guy will give the approval, then only you need to update. Otherwise, you don't have permission. In that type of situations, that means if you want to change anything in your record data, okay, you need some permission, you need some approvals from your hierarchy. In that type of situation, we are using whatever that approvals process. What is that? Approval process. Very, very important, guys. Okay, so here this is the opportunity, but I'm using this very good example. Okay, I'm creating one leave request. Always we got the approval, right? Opportunity maybe or may not be, but whenever you are creating creating the approval, leave request, you must get the approval from your manager. That guy may be approved or rejected, right? So if that guy is approved, then you are going to vacation. Otherwise, you are still same, right? So that's the reason I'm taking this example. Leave request. I'm creating one record called, one object called leave request. Within that, what are the mandatory data? So what is that? Serial number. That means request number, leave type, subject, description, start date, and date. Okay. Now identify the data type of the fields. What is that? First number, serial number is the auto number. Leave type is a casual or sick leave or maternity, right? So that's the reason. What is that? It is a pick list, any requirement guys, you can start from the scratch like this. Okay, now subject is a text, then description is a paragraph, right? That means long text, that means text area or something. Text area is fine. Data type, start date, date, end date. Fine. Now I am creating the, what about that object, and creating the tab and add this into the HMS. It is a HMS related leave request. Okay. Now how to create? Setup, objects, new custom object. What is the object name? Leave request. Here URL label, that means tab name, right? Leave request. Now here auto number. What is that? Request hyphen REQ. REQ means request number 000 something. It is auto number. Sorry, record number. Guys, sorry, there is some power issue here. Are you able to see my screen? Online people. Hello. Guys, please respond. Okay, thank you. So, request number. Request number is a label. Now the format. What is the format? REQ hyphen 000. I'm not sure whether it will work or not. Why the session expired? We'll see. Okay. Now this is the record. Okay, nice. Okay, guys. So this is the leave request. Then what is that? Leave type. Next object. Sorry, field. Leave type is a pick list, right? Pick list. Leave type. What is that? Casual. And okay, these two are enough. Next. Save a new. What is that? Subject. Subject is a text. Subject length is some 100. Next. Visible to all or see what is that? Field level security for profile. That means this field able to see which profile. We are already hide and show the in the profile level, right? That is the app level security. See, these are the all the profiles. But for example, if you want to see this only system administrator and we are reception profile. Those two people only able to see. The remaining people not able to see. So that is the that's the reason we are escaping in the starting. We skip this step. Understand? Now we know security, right? What about next? Save a new description. Or start date first, then last description goes. Okay. Date. When the leave is started. That means start date. You can give the security, guys. Okay, I just click on the all. Start date and next field is date. And date. But in the real time, guys, whenever you are creating any field, don't click on that. Okay, you need to ask this field able to see which profiles. Understand? Any other? Description is the last. Description is a see text area. This is fine. Or text area long. Anything is fine, guys. You can do whatever you want. description or comment or anything is fine. Object is ready, right, with our proper fields. Now we need to expose this object to the client. That means creating the tab. Custom object tab, view request, anything is fine. Default see profiles. Which profile you need to give this access, the tab access? Which profile? We have two profiles, system administrator and reception profile. Like that you need to see. For example, I need to default off all the profiles. Now apply, all are off to the respective profiles. Which one? Which tab? This tab, the leave request tab, not able to see all the profiles. Now which profile you want to see? System administrator on, reception profile on, only these two members. Understand? So that is the security. Now which app you want to see this? What about the tab? Which application? HMS. Remove that. Where is the HMS? This is the HMS. Save. Now see here, patient is there. Why it is a sales? We are giving the access only HMS application. See, leave request is come. Understand? So that is the security, guys. Now click on the new. So this is the data. Now for example, I am the employee. I need, what about that? Leave. So then what I will do? I am going to the application. Okay. So I am the HMS employee. So leave type casual, subject. Go to my hometown, something like that. Okay. Go to my hometown. Now start date. September 1st to September. October 1 is a Saturday. Okay. Now 10 days. October 10th. 1 to 10 days. Okay. You can add any description, whatever it is. Then save it. Now whenever I'm saving the record, this request go to my immediate manager, who is my boss. Okay, that guy, what about that? Gave the approval or rejected. Understand? That means now how to send this record for approval to our manager. How? So for that, so as of now we are not doing anything. We are just creating the record. That's it. Now this record you need to submit to the, what about your manager? How? Then we are using the concept called, what is that? What is that? Approval process. Yes, approval process is a concept. That means how to submit this record to your manager or for whoever. Okay, how those people are accepted, that means approved or rejected. Okay, first of all I will explain the theoretical, then go to the one. So first, see guys, this is the record. Okay, now what I will do, I need to create a button. I don't want button, but once I am creating that, okay, I need to submit. Record is there, so I need to submit for approval. I need to submit for approval. That means in this record we require one button, right? what is the button, understand first what is there, then how to implement I will explain. So as the employee or or as a customer, whatever it is, okay, I need to submit that. Whenever how to submit, I require one button, submit for approval, something like that. So for that purpose, this is the record, right? This is the record. Here I am creating one button. I required one button. How to create, that is a different story. What is that? Submit for, once record is saved, I need to display that button. Now whenever I click on this button, that means here the button is available. Now for example, I'm creating so I want to go to the vacation. I'm creating record today, but I want to submit tomorrow, right? So record is created, but it is not go to the approval. Okay, tomorrow I will do that. So that button is there. So whenever you need, then click on the button, submit for approval. Then what is the next step? How do you know in this record is go to the submit, what about that? Submitted for approval. As an employee, how I know this request is submitted for approval, right? We need to track that. So that's the reason. For example, it is going to your manager. How it is, I will explain to you. So this record is going to your immediate boss. That means your manager. So this is the manager org. Manager got the information, what about the notification, then he is open that. Now he is able to see the record. Why? Because he is already having the access, like profile level or data level security, everything is there. Okay, now he is able to see this record. But here he saw that, oh, so and so guy submit the data leave request. Okay, this guy required 10 days leave. Now he want to, what about that? Either rejected, for example, he either approved or rejected. That means in their screen, in their org screen, once this request is going to your manager, here we required some buttons. What is the buttons? This is not working now. What is the buttons? Approved or approve or see, first of all, we are understand, we required these things. How we are implemented, that is a different story. It is not a Salesforce. Understand the situation. Based on the situation, we are what we require. Okay. So for example, these managers see that record and these buttons are there, assuming that. Now this guy is click on the approved. Whenever he click on the approved, how this guy knows your request is approved? For example, this guy rejected. How the employee knows my manager is rejecting my request? How? So here, three problems are there. The first problem is, in the first time, whenever the employee click on the submit for approval, okay, how this guy knows your request is successfully submitted your manager? Why? Because he is not logged in as a manager, right? He is having his credentials. So that's the reason whenever we click on that, how the employee knows my request is successfully submitted to my manager. How? That is one way. So for that purpose, what I will do, I am creating one field called status. What is that? Status. Request status. Yeah, that is also fine, Akila. Okay. Yeah. Status. So in this, I will create one drop down. Drop down means pick list. Here, the first value of the pick list is submitted. That means whenever you are click on submit, this request is going to the manager, then the status field updated to submitted. Whenever this guy is click on the approved, then status field will be updated to, what is that? Approved. Otherwise, whenever this guy is rejected, then status field is rejected. Understand? For example, there is one more situation. For example, my director, I'm the person, I'm submitting this request. I'm submitting this request. This request going to my director. Okay, he saw that, oh, 10 days leave. Ashok, we have a tight deadlines. Next, within 1 week, we have a, what about the release? It is not possible. Okay, that guy say that, I'm not accepting 10 days in the polite manner. What is that? Can you please change the dates? I will give you the 10 days, but not next week. Okay, in the next month or in the December something, you can take the 15 days leave instead of 10 days. Why? Because we have a tight deadlines. So in these dates, it is not possible. We have a release. So you manager or director politely say that, please change your content. Understand? Please change the content. Instead of 10 days, you can take the 15 days leave, but not these days, another days. Understand? That means the manager politely says that, hey Ashok, please change the content, whatever it is, dates or something like that. That option is called, we are providing one more button called recall. What is that? Recall. Recall means whatever your request is okay, but within, please change the content. Content means the date changes or whatever it may be. Okay, I will give the whatever leave, but not that date because of so and so reasons. Okay, so in that case, that guy click on the recall button and give the message. Understand? Now the status is what? Recall. Any other situations? In progress, huh? In progress? No, in progress is submitted, right? Submitted means in progress. Whenever you, first as an employee, I am creating the leave request. Whenever I am submitting, then how I know my request is successfully submitted? Because of status is updated to submitted. That means that record in our manager under, right? Now manager see that, manager get the notification or he is able to see something, charter feed or something. Now manager open the record and we will provide 3 buttons. What are the buttons? Approved, rejected, recall. If you click on the approved, then how the user knows, that means user means employee knows my request is approved. Because in that case, whenever we click on the approve button, we are changing the status to approved. Then whenever I'm login, whenever I see my record, status is approved means, oh, my manager is approved. Whenever he rejected, then my manager is rejected. What is the reason? The message also I will show you. Now, the last situation is recall. Recall means change the content. Okay, instead of 10 days, we will give the 3 days. Instead of 10 days, we will give the 15 days, but some other days. Not the same. Something like that. Data modification. Simple. In the developer point of view, data modification. We can use it. This is enough, right? Is there anything else? This is enough, right? So now we are implementing the same features in our Salesforce. Understand? So first, in the user level or employee level, we required button. What is that? Submit for approval. Before that, we are creating one field. Leave status. Leave request status or status is fine. Within that, how many pick list values? 4. Submitted, approved, rejected, recalled. We'll see. First of all, I'm creating this field. How to create? UPs. What is that? Status of the leave request. Okay, status. What is that? First, submitted, approved, rejected, recalled. These are the 4 values. Based on the manager action, we are updating this automatically, right? Okay, now see, by default status is none. See, by default nothing will be there. Why? We are not updating. Depending on the manager actions, it will be updated. Okay. So first, as we discussed, first we require record is ready. Record is ready. Now we require, what is that? Submit for approval button. How? So for this process, the entire process, if you want to implement, we are using, what is the concept? Approval process. It is a standard functionality which is provided by the Salesforce. Understand? Now go to, what is that? Approval process. Okay. Now first, manage the approval process for which object you want to implement the approval process. Opportunity or leave request or something blah blah blah. So in our case, what is the object? Leave request. Leave request. Okay. Now create new approval process for same like workflow. Workflow also we are selecting the object. Here also we are selecting which object you need to implement the approval process. Create new approval process. Anything, use standard setup wizard. Anything is fine. You can select anything. Both are same screens, guys. Okay. Now see guys, same screen we are see in workflows as well, right? Name of the approval process. First, what is the name of the approval process? Leave request approval process. Unique name means API name. Any template required? We don't require any templates. Now, when the approval process will be starts. Same like in the workflow, we have 2 types of conditions. What is that? In the approval, in the workflows. Rule criteria, evaluation criteria, rule criteria. Here also specific entry criteria. That means when you need to start your approval process. So when, for example, here which data is must be, which data is mandatory, guys? For manager point of view, dates mandatory, right? Forget about the remaining. Dates are mandatory. So when the request starts, when it is ended. That means date must be there. Then only we need to start the approval process. That means start date, end date must be there. Okay. So what is the condition? Criteria met. What is the criteria? Start date. Where is that? Leave request start date not equal to empty condition. Start date must be there. That means start date not equal to empty and end date not equal to empty. This is the criteria. If start date and end date is there, if you want, you can add subject, everything. But in our case, it is fine. When the leave is started, when the leave is ended, those two are mandatory. Okay. If the start date and end date both are there, then our approval process will be starts. Understand? Now, once this approval process starts, this approval process going to submit it to whom? Manager. But how do you know manager? How do you know manager? Right? For example, here, this guy is we have two users, guys. We don't have multiple users. What are those? Naresh, reception. So here, reception guy only able to create the, what about that? The leave request. That means reception user, how we know reception user manager is Naresh. That means we need some configuration, right? So see guys, now, okay, leave it as it is now here. Then come to here again. Users. Users means these are the employees, right? But it is a developer edition. We have two users only. One is Naresh and one is reception user. Now who will create the request? Reception user. Okay. So this guy is a reception user. This guy is a reception user. How we know this reception user manager is, what about that? Naresh. We need to configure something, right? So in that case, every user, whenever you are creating any user in the real time, there is an option called manager. Manager is a lookup. See, here you need to set, see, where is a manager? Manager. It is an optional relationship. That means user may be or may not be manager. So now in our case, we require manager. Why? Because whenever reception user submit the leave request, it is going to respect to manager. Understand? So in our case, reception user creating the leave request. Now the system will be come to user, which user? Reception user, and check who is the manager automatically. So add the manager. Understand? So now reception user manager is this configuration done. Now system knows, for example, what is the user? Okay. I need to open as a reception user. Okay. Login.salesforce. This guy also having the tab access, right? Leave request access. But why it's not coming, guys? The profile level we are not provided. Where is that leave request? No, he's not having this access. Okay. First of all, I need to give the access in this profile. This is a reception user, right? Reception user profile is this. We need to give the leave request access to, who is that guy? Reception user. Edit. What is that object? First tab access, tab settings. In the tab setting, leave request is on. That is fine. Within the tab, object is there. Now you need to check the object permission. Leave request. See, there is no object permission. So that's the reason we are unable to see. Now give the keys, read the record, create the record, edit the record, delete the record. Okay, it's fine. If you want, you can do this other records. That is fine. But anyhow, okay. Now see, it is saved. Okay. Now this guy, we are giving the object access. Leave request is come. Click on that. Now he is storing the data. What is that? Leave request type is casual. Subject is go to my hometown, and date is blah 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 blah. Only 2 days. Status don't require. Now whenever he create the record, he's not submitted anything. He just create the record. Now we required what is that? Submit for approval. See now, whenever he click on the submit for approval, who submitted? Reception user. Then system go to the reception user. Where is the reception user? This is the reception user. And where is the manager? That request is going to the respective manager. Understand? Another way, for example, I am the architect. In my case, my approval is maybe multiple hierarchy, maybe my senior manager or my director or another director. That means if anyone gave the approval, my whatever request is approved. So it is a group of users. Understand? So that type of things also possible. How? See now. Where is that? Yeah, here see. This is the approval process. This is that one. See here. Let see automatically assign approval user standard that hierarchy field. What is the hierarchy? Manager or any roles. Your immediate manager something. For example, I all told you, I am submitting my request. I need to assign, send my request to my manager or senior manager and director or like 5 users. Understand? In that case, those 5 members put it in one queue. I all told you what is meant by queue. Here, you need to assign that queue. You need to assign that queue. But here there is no queues, guys. Queue means group of users. In that group of users, my manager, my senior manager, my director, all the people are there. Whenever I am submitting the request, my request is going to all the people. Anyone approved, automatically approved. So now approval is maybe one person or multiple person. Both are possible. Understand? But in our case, what is that? Only one person, immediate manager. See, automatically assign approval. Let's submitted choose the approval manually. See here, automatically assign approval user standard or custom hierarchy. Who is that? Manager. That means whenever you are submit the approval process, first it is checking what is that? These 2 conditions. What are the conditions? Start date not equal to null, end date not equal to null. Both are satisfied. Then that request is going to manager. Which manager? Who created the record? Who created? In our case, reception user. Then reception user manager. Who is the reception user manager? Naresh IT. This record is going to the, what is that? Naresh IT. Clear? As of now, this is the first step. This is the first step. Now our request is going to whom? Respective manager. Reception user respective manager. Understand? Whenever start date not equal to null, end date not equal to null, this request is going to who is submitted this record, that submitted user related manager this record is going to that guy up. Understand? So this is the first step. This is the first step. Now click on that. See, what is that first step? Entry criteria. Leave request start date not equal to null and leave request end date not equal to null. Then okay. Now initial submission action. Initial submission, whenever he submitted, what we required. See, this is the initial. For example, guys, here please remember one more scenario. I am submitting the record. Okay, how many days? 10 days. The request is going to my manager. This is completely theoretical, guys. Understand the business. I am submitting the record. The request is going to whom? Manager. Meanwhile, what I will do? I am changing my dates. But the request is going to already 10 days request is going to manager, but I am changing my request to 10 days to 15 days. That is not correct scenario, right? So that's the reason what I will do. Whenever I am submitting this request for 10 days, the request is going to manager. How I will already explain you. Now the request is in our manager org. Meanwhile, nobody edit this record. That means we need to log this record. Why? The record, whatever the record is, already went to your manager. Manager is now either rejected or approved, then only you can edit it. Once the request is submitted, you don't modify the record. So that feature we need to enable it. Understand? So that feature means once you click on the submit for approval, the request is going to manager. Meanwhile, until he click on the approved or reject or recall, you don't have option to whatever that edit the record. That means change the content. Understand? That means you need to log the record until manager is approved or reject. Understand? So for that purpose, we don't want to do anything. The approval process, see here, initial submission. Initial means first time. Whenever you submitted, see what is the first step? Record log. Log the record from being edited. Whenever you are click on the submit button, the record is logged. Who did that? The approval process did that automatically. We are not doing anything. Okay. Now, see, this is the one, right? What is the difference? Previous screen, now. No difference, huh? Guys, what is the difference? Previous, just I refreshed. Any difference, guys? Arey yaar. This button is coming now. This button is coming now. When we are already created the approval process. So that's the reason initial submission action. So here submit for approval button is coming automatically. Understand? Now if you click on this, what happened? First it is checking initial. What is that? First, when it started, leave request started not equal to null and ended not equal to null, both are checking. If both are good, that means both conditions are satisfied. The request is going to whom? Manager. How it is going? See here who created? Reception user. The system going to the reception user and check who is the manager. That manager, this request is going. Whenever you are click on this button. Okay, that is the first step. And second step is, what is that? See, initial submission here, record is locked. That means, see now here, there is edit options. But once you are submitted, this record is locked. Okay, that is automatically. Two things are automatically done. While you are click on the submit for approval, the first thing is what? System is going to the first who created reset user. Go to the user record and check who is the manager. Naresh IT. Then this request is going to the Naresh. Okay, this is the first step. Automatically done. Second one is record is locked. Second one is record is locked. So the record is locked. See here, initial submission. Whenever you are starting the submission, what is that? Record is locked. Now that means record is locked means, first of all, we know already how to track the my request is successfully submitted. That means we need to update the status to submitted. So that's the reason here. Where is that? Initial submission actions. Here, add field update. Whenever you are submitted, record is locked and status field updated to whom? What? What is the field? Submitted. Whenever you are click the submit button, we need to update the status field to what? Submitted. See, which field you need to update? Status. Status is updated to what? Specific value. Submitted. Understand? So this is the first action we are done. Now, when initial submission, that means whenever you are click on the button, what happened? The first thing is the request is going to the manager. Second thing is field is updated. Third thing is record is locked. Three actions are automatically performed because of approval. This is our custom action. Two, what about the standard actions performed? What is that? Record is going to the manager for approval. Second one is custom of whatever the action. Field is updated. What is that? Status field update to submitted. Then third is record is locked. Understand? So this is the initial submission. Now record is where it is. We are submitted. Then this record is status is submitted. Record is in our manager. Now in the manager able to see the record, right? So for example, in the manager point of view, we need to enable three buttons. We'll see how it is enabled. Now, if this guy is click on the approved. Now here see the second step is, forget about this, final approval actions. If it is approved, if the guy is, who is the guy? Manager, approved. How the user knows? Status is updated to approved. That means again field update. Where is that? Status field update to what is that? Approved. Status approved. Whenever final approval is your manager. Whenever that guy is click on the approve button, then what? Record is already locked. Field is updated to what? Approved. So then user record reception user able to see the status is approved. Then he knows, oh, my manager is approved. For example, he is rejected. Then what? Whenever he rejected, status field update to what is that? Reject. rejected. What is the third step? Other one, last one. For example, manager click on, he is not click on the approved button and rejected button. He click on recall. That means, hey, please change the so and so dates. That means this is the final last one, recall. In the recall also, how the user knows? Status field update to, what is that? Recall. Yes. Whenever he click on the submit button, sorry, approved button, our record status is approved. Whenever he click on the, what about that? How, where to decide? Here. Approve action, field update to approved. Rejection action, field update to rejected. Recall action, field update to recall. So these three steps, who will do that? Manager. Initial submission, who will do that? User. That means employee. Understand? Now we'll see activate it. Yeah. See guys, allow submitted to recall approval request. If you want to, if you need recall button option, you need to check this. Otherwise it will not work. How? Initial submitter. Here see, I will again explain you. The last option, what is that? Recall option. If you require that recall option button, you must enable this checkbox. How to enable this checkbox means, initial submitter, click on that. Here, allow submit to recall approval request. This is the final option. Check. Okay. So this is the approval process, guys. Now this is the approval. See, when it started, leave request start date not equal to null, leave request end date not equal to null. Initial submission. Whenever user is, that means employee is submitted, what is happening? First, that request is going to his manager. How? The system is in the backend runtime engine. The runtime engine going to who created this record. That means who submitted this record. Who submitted? Reception user. Then the runtime engine going to the reception user and check what is the reception user manager. Who is the manager? Naresh. Then this request is going to the Naresh ID. How? I will show you. Now the ball in Naresh IT code, right? So now Naresh open the request. Now whenever he is opened, maybe he is approved or rejected or recalled. We need to enable these three buttons. So approved or rejected automatically coming. If you are enable the recall button, what is the option? You need to check this checkbox. What is that? Edit the last initial submitter and allow. So three buttons are ready. Now how the user knows that guy is approved or rejected or recalled? That means we need to change the status of this status field based on that guy button click, right? So for that purpose, in the approval process, we have three steps. What is that? Final approval, final rejection, recall. Who did that? Whatever the respective manager, right? If that guy is approved, then what is that? Field update to approved. That means the employee knows, oh, my request is approved. Rejected. Field update to reject. Recall. That means he is changing to recall. So these are the steps, guys. Clear? Now we'll see. Now our approval is activated. No. See, same like workflow. You must activate it. Activated. Now, see guys, this is the request. Okay. This is the request. I'm click on the submit. Who submitted? Reception user. Then the system is checking, the runtime engine is checking any workflow is there or not. If the workflow is there, it is executed. Same like any approval process is there on this object or not, already there. And check whether it is active or not. Yes, already this approval process is active. Then check what is that condition. What is that? Start date and end date not equal to null or not. Yes, start date and end date not equal to null. Then the approval process will be stops. We'll see. Status submitted. Initial submission. What is the initial submission? What are the actions? Initial submissions. See, initial submitter. Who is that guy who are creating the request? 3 actions. One is request is going to the manager. Second one is field update. Third one is record log. See here, we'll see. First we need to check this record, that request is going to the manager or not. This is the manager org, right? This is the manager org. Go to the home. See, what is that? Request 002, leave request, user reception, date of submitted this. Now this guy open this. See here, approve is there, reject is there, but both are same link. Now this guy, see, this is the home screen, right? Automatically come under here, items to be approved. By whom? Manager, Naresh. Request is coming. Then he is open the record as a manager. Now see, record is locked. So first this request is going to manager, right? See, first of all, request is going to manager. So the first step is completed. Second step, what is the second step? Status is updated to submitted. Second step is completed. Third step is record is locked. All steps are, 3 steps are completed. Now the ball in the manager portal, right? Now manager will do whatever he did. Now manager open this request. See, now he don't have option to change the content. So that's the reason record is locked. See here, in the approval process, here see, record locked, record locked, record locked. That means manager don't have option to change the content. Understand? So that's the reason approved or rejected or recall, what happened? All are, what about that? Locked. Now the manager is, see, click on approved or rejected. For example, recall, see, recall. And also if you see here, the first step 1 is, this is the already submitted, reception user submitted. Now pending from approver. Who is the approver? Naresh. Now he already 2930. We have a release. Then he say that I'm not giving the, what about that request? I'm not approved. Please change the content. Recall, approval, request. Hey, we have deadlines for our project on the same dates. Please change the dates after 1 week. Manager send the message. Now he recall approval request. Now see guys, comment, hey, we have deadline for our project on the same date. Please change the dates. Okay. Now this is the points. So this is the, what about that? reception user. Reload it. See, record is unlocked. Hey, we have a deadline. See, status is recalled. We have a deadline, something like that. Then he is changing the dates to some other date. September, October, like 12 to October 12 to some 19 something. Click on save. Now again submit for approval. Why? He is initial submitter. Click on that. Click on that. Now this is the third step. See, all the conversation happened here. Here reception user submitted. Now status is submitted. This is going to Naresh IT. So now the request is pending from the Naresh. So now again open the Naresh. See, reload it. Submitted by reception user, pending from Naresh IT. Now he is accepted. Okay. Now open that approved or rejected. What is that? Thanks. Approved. Okay. Now he click on the approve button. Two times I'm click on that, so that's the reason I think. See, it is already approved, right? So that's the reason. Now see here. Thanks, approved. Approved. If it is rejected, rejected. Understand? That's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll discuss around 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll go to the other concepts. Okay. If you have any questions, please ask me tomorrow. This topic is almost completed. Again, I will explain you tomorrow as well. Okay. The overall flow again. Then we'll go to the UI part. Okay, guys. Thank you. Not UI, Apex. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.